It was an ordinary Thursday evening at the Trump estate, and Melania Trump was preparing for an evening gathering. The grand ballroom had been meticulously arranged with gold-leafed chandeliers casting a soft glow over the vast space. The atmosphere was elegant, reflecting the perfectionist touch Melania was known for. Guests were trickling in, dressed in formal attire, their chatter filling the air as the evening unfolded. Melania stood near the entrance, greeting the arriving guests with her trademark poise, her warm smile never faltering. Yet, behind her calm exterior, there was an undeniable sense of unease that had been gnawing at her. Something was about to happen, something she couldn't have anticipated. Her personal assistant had been meticulous in organizing this evening, ensuring every detail was covered. But the guest list contained one name that Melania hadn't seen in years: Claudia Davenport, a former colleague turned bitter rival. The name alone made Melania's pulse quicken. Claudia had once been one of her closest confidants, but over the years, their relationship had soured, turning into a rivalry that was as personal as it was professional. Claudia's ambition had always been her driving force, but it was her actions during the years they worked together that had left a stain on their relationship. Claudia had crossed lines, betrayed trust, and ultimately forced Melania to distance herself from her. But Claudia's arrival this evening was no coincidence. Melania had been informed days earlier by her assistant that Claudia had insisted on attending the gathering. She had made no secret of her desire to reconnect, but Melania had ignored the overtures, unwilling to open old wounds. Tonight, however, there was no avoiding it. As the night unfolded, Melania tried her best to focus on the evening's festivities. The music from the string quartet floated through the room, mingling with the clinking of champagne glasses and laughter of her distinguished guests. Still, she couldn't shake the lingering tension. The perfectly curated event felt like a fragile veneer, one that could shatter at any moment. She glanced discreetly at the large oak doors of the ballroom, half dreading the moment Claudia would step through them. Melania's instincts were rarely wrong, and tonight they screamed of impending chaos. She had no illusions about Claudia's intentions. Her old rival didn't just come to reconnect. Claudia had always been calculating, and Melania couldn't help but wonder what game she was playing now. The doors swung open just as Melania turned to speak with one of the guests. Her words faltered mid-sentence as Claudia Davenport entered the room. Dressed in a black, figure-hugging gown with a plunging neckline, Claudia commanded attention. Heads turned as she strode into the ballroom, her confident smile and piercing gaze sweeping over the crowd. She exuded a magnetic aura, and it was clear she relished being the center of attention. For a moment, Melania considered walking away, avoiding the inevitable confrontation altogether. But she quickly dismissed the thought. Retreating wasn't her style. She had spent years cultivating her image and building her life, and she wasn't about to let Claudia undermine her in her own home. Claudia approached Melania with measured steps, her heels clicking against the polished marble floor. The air between them was thick with unspoken history, years of resentment bubbling just beneath the surface. "Melania," Claudia said smoothly, her voice carrying just enough volume to draw the attention of nearby guests. "It's been far too long." Melania tilted her head slightly, a practiced smile playing on her lips. "Claudia," she replied, her tone cool and polite. "I wasn't expecting to see you tonight. I couldn't miss an event as grand as this," Claudia said, her eyes scanning the room before landing back on Melania. "Your taste, as always, is impeccable." Melania ignored the double-edged compliment and gestured toward the crowd. "Please, make yourself comfortable. I'm sure you'll find plenty of familiar faces here." "Oh, I'm sure I will," Claudia said, her smile widening. "But it's you I'm most interested in catching up with." The statement hung in the air, drawing the attention of those around them. Sensing the rising tension, Melania gracefully excused herself and led Claudia to a quieter corner of the ballroom. She had no intention of airing their dirty laundry in public. Once they were away from prying ears, Claudia wasted no time getting to the point. "It's funny, isn't it?" she began, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial tone. "How life has a way of bringing people back together. Funny isn't the word I'd use, Melania replied evenly, crossing her arms. What do you want, Claudia? Claudia smirked, clearly enjoying Melania's unease. Straight to the point. I've always admired that about you. She took a step closer, lowering her voice. I'm here because we have unfinished business, Melania. You may have thought our paths would never cross again, but life has a way of proving us wrong. Melania's eyes narrowed, her composure unwavering. I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever happened between us is in the past. Ah, but the past has a way of catching up with us, doesn't it? Claudia said, her tone almost taunting. You may have moved on, but I haven't forgotten. And neither, I suspect, have you. Melania could feel her patience wearing thin. If you've come here to stir up old grievances, I suggest you leave. I won't let you ruin this evening for me or my guests. Claudia's smile faded, replaced by a steely expression. Oh, I'm not here to ruin anything, Melania. I'm here to remind you that the perfect little world you've built is more fragile than you think. The word struck a nerve, but Melania refused to let it show. She straightened her shoulders, her gaze locked on Claudia's. You've always underestimated me, Claudia. But let me make one thing clear, I won't be intimidated by you. The two women stood in silence for a moment, their eyes locked in an unspoken battle. Around them, the party continued, the laughter and music a sharp contrast to the tension crackling between them. It was clear to both of them that this was only the beginning. Claudia hadn't come to the Trump estate to reconnect. She had come to make a statement. And Melania was determined not to let her succeed. Enjoy the evening, Claudia, Melania said finally, her tone dismissive. I have guests to attend to. Claudia smiled thinly. Oh, I will, Melania. I'll enjoy every moment of it. As Melania walked away, her heart pounding in her chest, she knew one thing for certain, this wasn't over. Claudia had made her move, and now it was Melania's turn.